Hey, what's up? What's up? Appreciate you tuning into another BlackSwanRadio.com podcast. I am your host, Rondell L. Jordan. Man, this year flew by, didn't it? Today I am speaking to you on one of the final days of December and one of the final days of 2023. I'm telling you one thing, I'm just grateful, very, very grateful. Number one, I'm grateful to be past the pandemic, and I think the further that period of time is in the past, the better I feel. But at this point, I think I've completely exhausted my political appetite and my appetite for, fictitious, frivolous, social relations. I've lost it. I've realized that our relationship with the public it has to be either purposeful, which means that it's either profitable in the sense of producing assets and currency and economics, or profitable in the sense of fulfilling your purpose, which points towards the Most High. We have a high purpose that we can undertake if we understand the significance behind it all. I'm very comfortable in my calling. I think I know what I'm here to do. And I think it takes a couple decades for some of us. Maybe some know within a couple years, who knows, of adulthood. Some may even are born to know what they're here for. So I'm speaking for myself in the terms of it took me some time to really realize what I have to offer the world, So today I want to give you, a little bit of what I mean, right? I'm a big proponent, I have been a big proponent this year of exploring the Word of God, because I believe that the Word of God gives you access to the world of God and also the sword of God, because no weapon formed against what God has ordained can prosper. I don't see it possible. So, life presents us exercises, experiences, experiments, because this is a learning experience. We're here to learn who we are as individuals, as human beings, as a collective group of human beings, to learn who we are. Then there's different types of human beings, that we can get to learn and know. Different types of creatures, cultures, communities. The deeper you dive, the more dimensions there are to explore. One of the most grateful things that I have beyond my sons, my children, and the experience of, leading a family. I cherish these things. So I must recognize this, but on an individual, personal basis, one of the most greatest investments I think I've made in myself is the commitment to travel and explore the world beyond my country. And I did this beginning at a young age, as soon as I graduated from high school. I was a few days away from being on a plane to Chicago to boot camp, and then Virginia, and then we went to in Virginia. I was stationed on the USS Theodore Roosevelt, which was an aircraft carrier, so basically a floating airport. So aviation has always been a part of my adult life, and it is still to this day. I do ground services or provide ground services for a contractor of United Airlines, and I enjoy this job. I enjoy not only the work, because it in my mind it's exercise. It keeps me flexible, it keeps me strong, mobile. Use the opportunity to, instead of taking the shuttle from the employee parking lot to the terminal, I use that opportunity to jog, to get deep breaths early in the morning, the freshest air possible into my lungs. And, my body appreciates it, and I see the results in stamina. I see the results, I'm 44, and I still have a very close, if not the same, physique as I did when I was in my 20s. So I appreciate the physical aspect of my job, but then also I like the spiritual aspect, which is the connection to the different people that I work with, and the relationships and bonds that we can make through conversation and laughter and working together and playing together and eating together. This is something that during the pandemic I withdrew from, and I was taken away from periodically, and I missed it. I was able to cultivate a deeper gratitude for it, and I already appreciate it. I used to love that aspect before, but now I'm a little older, a little wiser, I would like to say, meaning that I understand a little bit more about life and people and myself, what I have to offer, my impact on people. And so it's good to be able to experiment and experience and exercise, social skills, and so now, I feel like it's even more important to invest into the relationships with the people around me, to be more aware of remembering details about them, giving in creative ways. But I say all of this to say is that life is what it is, and it's up to us to appreciate what is happening and use the opportunities of our day to the best of our ability. We want to build a savings economically. We want to continue to exercise our physical bodies. We want to continue to explore. And so there is no greater institution of faith and divine exercise, I would say. Exercising your divine skills, right? Tuning into your divine connections. You see, divinity is a personal experience. It's a very, very personal experience. I mean, who can measure your amount of faith? You know, the only reason why you should be measuring your faith is to have an understanding of what degree you can exercise your faith. You know, because I always say to young guys in the debates, religious debates, where is your faith taking you? Where is your faith leading you to? You know, where have your faith taken you? What evidence do you have to show for what your faith have taken you to? And when I say this, I don't mean this in a material way. I mean this in a literal way. You know, has it taken you to far places? Because it takes faith to do that. Have you built a business? Have you written a book? What I'm just saying, where product, what fruits do you have of your faith? Because if your faith does not produce fruits, I'm talking about in this lifetime, and you have no evidence to know whether it is true or not. And we know that belief is just the first stage of understanding, right? I believe, I believe it's true. I believe I was there. I believe I remember. That's not really convincing, but it's something. And what I'm saying is most people get stuck in that phase. You don't go anywhere in that phase because you haven't put action to it. Anybody can believe anything. People believe in Santa Claus. People believe in any and everything. But the question is where have you taken that belief into? If you have put an action to it, if you have invested in it, you put money behind it, this means you have faith in what you believe in. And so this is the second degree. You have faith in what you believe in, but you don't know yet. You're investing in it, you exercising it, you putting energy, effort, you're experimenting, experiencing. And once you have completed that process, that second phase, you come into the knowing. You come into the knowing. So this is the reason why in the Bible the serpent said, did God say? Did God say? Because it wasn't God who said it. But people don't read. To be precise, the serpent said to the woman, you will not surely die, for God knows that in the day you eat of it, your eyes will be open and you will be like gods. Will be like God. They uppercased it in the New King James Version. But if you look in the original, the King James Version, it's as gods, knowing. Now, they include good and evil there, but knowledge, of course, includes the good and the bad. It is what it is. You go out and get the water, but be careful from the lions and the, and the hyena and the vipers along the way. And even when you get to the water hole, you better watch out for the crocs, the gators.